So as I've been reporting to you all for the past couple of days, FEMA has gotten exposed. And it's really bad. You know, we were sitting here for weeks wondering, why isn't FEMA or the government helping these people who lost everything in Hurricane Helene? We were watching just these horrific videos, this crazy footage coming out of the area. And we were hearing firsthand accounts from people who were still stranded and hadn't seen help yet. And still till this day, people still need help. It's crazy. But FEMA got exposed. Because you see, FEMA was purposely not helping certain people. FEMA gave the orders to, hey, if you go out there in the field, you can help Kamala Harris supporters, but you can't help anyone who votes for Trump. Now, this is why we were getting mixed reports out of certain areas in North Carolina, like Asheville. Some people, more in the inner city areas, living in these apartment complexes or what have you, they were claiming, hey, FEMA came and talked to us. But the people in the more rural areas, the people who were in the mountains and stuff, they were claiming they never saw any help. Well, now we know why. FEMA did come. They did help some people, but they ignored the majority of people. In fact, the people who got it the worst, the people who got their entire homes swept away by the flood, FEMA didn't help them. Because FEMA assumed, oh, that's Trump country. Those people are supporting Trump, so we're not going to help them. Now, this has gotten exposed on a major level. We have official documents showing that this is true. We have text messages directly from one of the FEMA supervisors giving orders to avoid Trump homes. So we know this is true. FEMA admitted it was true. The FEMA supervisor claims that, hey, it's not just my fault. She's claiming that this is just part of the culture at FEMA. FEMA tried to dump everything on one supervisor. She said, no, it's not just me. This is how we work at FEMA. Well, you would think that after all of that got exposed, that FEMA would do some course correction, right? You would think that they would get their ish together and they would go out there and help the people who they had not helped yet. You would think that after this information got exposed, that they would be on their best behavior and that they would try to make things right, or at the very least, do a fair job now. Well, folks, I can 100% confirm now that that's not the case. FEMA has not learned its lesson. FEMA is not trying to right its wrongs. In fact, FEMA is fuming. They're upset that they got exposed. And guess who they're taking it out on? They're taking it out on the people in North Carolina who were affected by Hurricane Helene. The same exact people they refused to help, the same exact people they ignored. Well, now that FEMA got exposed, they're coming into these areas and screwing with people purposely, confiscating supplies, shutting down donation centers, and we've already seen them doing this over the past couple of weeks, but now they're cracking down even harder. So they got exposed, they got angry, and they decided that they would get bitter and take it out on the people who lost everything. And here I'm not going to lie, I had a glimmer of hope that, okay, now that they got exposed, maybe they'll do their job. Or at the very least, they won't get in the way anymore as these people try to help themselves. But no, that's not the case. As soon as they got exposed, they sent their field agents out there to go shut down more donation centers, to confiscate supplies. There's even reports of them coming on private property, threatening to arrest people and all types of stuff. It's getting crazy. And it's sad because most people don't even care anymore. They don't even think this situation is going on anymore. They think it's over. It's not. It's not. There's a battle being fought on the ground, not literally with arms, but you understand what I'm saying here. But you know what? Let's go ahead and listen to what this woman has to say, because she was at one of these areas when FEMA came in and took everything. So let's check out what she has to say. and then I'll be right back with more.
This is not my current content that I usually post. So if you have any kids around, please, please, please keep scrolling. I'm fucking pissed. Like, severely pissed. We arrived in North Carolina, Western North Carolina, to help the hurricane victims. Just doing whatever we can. The camp that we rolled into, and by the way, I'm not posting this on any of my other social medias just yet because they've got to cool off first. But I love TikTok, so we're going to talk about this. So the camp we rolled into, the camp we rolled into has volunteers. It's on a private piece of land, and we were volunteering. And each just kind of like go out, find your own stuff. If there's people who come in, we help them. But it's all private. Nobody's making money off of here. Everyone's here on their own dime, their own time, using their own resources to get here. Everyone's been using all of the donations to go towards these victims. And there's not a ton of us, but there's enough to make a big difference. And so the day after we rolled in, we had 3 people roll into this exact camp and start kind of wanting to dictate what things were supposed to be and what they were going to do with all this stuff. And we were a little confused because we were new. We had just rolled in the night before, so we weren't sure what was normal, what wasn't normal, kind of playing it by ear. Joseph kept going out in town and helping the community. Me and the kids thought we were helping the camp set up here, which we were. So like moving tents around and stocking the shelves and yada, yada, yada. That's in my other videos of what we did. So yesterday, actually 2 nights ago, I heard the head honcho of one of the 3 people that rolled in say that something was below their pay grade. And it struck me as a little bit odd because all of us are here on our own dime. So what pay grade? I'm not getting paid. If anything, we are out hundreds of dollars in order to supply fuel for our family and propane, where usually we stay at the campgrounds and that's all included, and we use our 1,000 Trails membership, so it's free. So we're out money right now. So she says that's below my pay grade and walks away, and I was like, that's weird. Already didn't care for her too much, but I was like, she's here, so she's got to be doing things for the good. So then the next morning, she has us all get up at the ass crack of dawn, meet, has us all make her breakfast, and then wants to tell us what we can and can't do. Well, she told Joseph they weren't allowed to go out on this search and rescue mission. They went anyway. We're all here on our own free dime. The reason we chose this camp is because it's on private property, and the guy who is running it is phenomenal. But he wasn't here. He's opening up a second camp for where we're at right now. So fast forward, they took all of the medical supplies. We were like, that's weird. They took all the medical supplies. They want to dictate what's going on around here. They want us to check in with them. Like, something's not quite adding up. Well, today we come back from volunteering. We went and helped an older gentleman, and then we helped a couple at their homesteads. And we come back. Turns out these motherfuckers were from FEMA. Not telling anyone, coming in, trying to dictate what we couldn't do, kept saying that it was their camp, my camp this, my camp that, I'm not going to have my camp for this. The motherfuckers were from FEMA, coming in on private land, taking advantage and taking supplies from donations and volunteer work. If you want to hit them up, their name's Operation Anchor. They told us all, well, you guys need to say you're with Operation Anchor. It's a new business getting up off the ground, but being funded by FEMA. They took some of the shit that was donated. Y'all, I'm pissed. I am livid. Just like all the other volunteers here. So they were kicked off property. They're going to come get their stuff. But it just goes to show the government and terrible organizations will come in and try and take everything, and they're sneaky motherfuckers is what they are. Sneaky. So anyway, that's my latest update. I don't know if I'm going to even share it on other social media platforms because I might get backlash for saying that FEMA's a piece of shit, but they are. Also, if you guys have seen the news about anything going on in Western North Carolina, These people are not okay. These people are struggling. These people are still missing. They're hungry. They're being denied any insurance claims. They're even being denied the $750 that's supposed to be from FEMA or the government, wherever else. They are being treated like trash, and people are out here freezing on the streets and still dying. Still dying 6 weeks later. Government's nowhere. So we got a call from a friend either earlier today or yesterday from Joseph, was talking to him, and he said, oh, I saw on the news that the government's really helped Western North Carolina. We haven't seen them, other than FEMA coming in here and taking our medical supplies, dictating what we could and couldn't do, telling us we couldn't go on search and rescue missions, and telling us what we could and couldn't do. We have not seen them. We haven't seen them. And we've been all over the streets. There's no government assistance up through here. These are all volunteers helping out. I've seen Red Cross. I've seen, and that was the first time today I saw Red Cross. I saw Cajun Navy is all over helping people endlessly. And then a lot of churches and a lot of private organizations. A lot of people are over here on their own free dime. But Western North Carolina is not okay. And FEMA is trying to take everything. So be aware. They just came and took up these fucking medical supplies. Left. They've still got to come and get the rest of their stuff. So I don't know if anything's being done about that. All I know is what I've told you, but I am livid. These people came in here pretending like to be private volunteers, and they were with FEMA the whole time, lying. Lying. This is how things get out of hand so quickly. So anyway, that's the latest update for us. If you donated money, I did not give any of the money to them. That is still being distributed to people who are in need of food and supplies and whatever else we can find that goes directly to the victims and people who need it the most. So the money that we, as our family, raised, we are very selective on where that money goes. So it's going directly to purchase things, and that is it, because these organizations are out to be thieves. So anyway, I'm pissed. I am uber pissed. I can't even explain it. So I don't know. You guys just should know, if there's ever a natural disaster, those motherfuckers were slick. They stayed here for 3 days before we even realized they were FEMA, before being kicked off property. So there's that.
So now we basically have these government agencies infiltrating the volunteer camps. How crazy is that? And they're treating these people who are volunteering out the kindness of their heart. Some of them have come from across America. Like this woman says, they are dedicating their time. They are using their own money to help. But we got government agencies going undercover, infiltrating these camps, treating these everyday American citizens as if they're terrorists. That's what's happening. They're basically going undercover, infiltrating these camps, treating our American citizens who are helping other American citizens out of the kindness of their heart. They're treating them like terrorists. What type of weird stuff is really going on out here? And then some people ask me, wait, are these clips new? Is this still happening in North Carolina? The answer is yes, folks. Sometimes it's hard for people to grasp that after the news stops talking about something, that doesn't mean that it goes away. You think that all the destruction you saw just went away in a couple of weeks because the news stopped talking about it? No. There's still hundreds of people literally missing. Bodies that have not been found, folks. It's not over. Just because the media stops covering it doesn't mean it's over. And this is right now happening as we speak. As we speak. This isn't weeks ago. This isn't days and days ago. No, this is currently happening. And I find that extremely frustrating, especially because of what has been exposed. You would think that that should be enough to get these people to act right, but it's not. They're doing the exact opposite. And now I'm sitting here worried about what they're going to do next, because you know they're going to crack down on these people because they've shown that that's what they're about. They're not really there to help. Well, maybe they're there to help certain people, but they despise the other portions of people, and they're going to do whatever they can to make their lives worse. But for now, make my life better and drop a comment down in the comment section below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.